Hello again, this is Dragon S4 here with an update tutorial. A friend of mine requested that I show a video of my how to use the chainmail winder that I taught you how to make in the previous video. So, that being said, I'm going to show you how to use it. Okay. Now, here's what we got. We have my chainmail winder is tied down to a card table. I don't have a real good work surface to work from, so I have to work off of a card table, okay? I've got my leather gloves and my wire cutter here. And then what I did is I'm working with brass wire today, and you can work with other wires too. I just threaded it under the second line of the paint stripper here with the brushes removed. That's what this thing is. And then the rod that goes through the top part of that, through the top hole of the paint stripper. You make the first loop, you want to thread it into this bar here like that, into the hole that I showed you in the video. Make the first one really high above the bar, and there's a reason for that, because if you make it tight into the bar on the first loop, it's going to be very difficult to cut this loose. So, okay, with I can't do this with holding the phone, so I'm going to have to put this in a holder, tilt this toward you a little bit, and then let you see what I'm doing. I'll keep you updated. Okay, so going into the holder here, and now, you take your glove, put your glove on, okay, and holding down on the wire. Again, you want to keep the first loop really loose and keep it just a little bit going to the right side. So you kind of push this starter point here on the other side of the paint stripper. Okay, keep the first loop very loose. Don't put any pressure on it. And when you get to the second coil, then you can put some pressure on it. Hold down a little bit on the pressure on this wire here. So I'm holding down on this wire and I'm turning the handle. The first couple of turns you want to go slowly so you get it onto the rod properly, and it'll go faster when you see. Now I can pick up speed here now that the first couple coils are on there. And in order to keep this video short, because I don't have a Wi-Fi connection, so I can't upload large videos easily. So I'll keep it short, but I'll wind up a small coil, and then I'll show you how to get it off and cut it and everything. Okay, so I'm winding the coil here. Sometimes you may have to adjust this a little bit. And the paint unit acts like a guide. It kind of brings it down automatically down the row here. And if you could see this, I'm making a coil here, and it'll look like a spring. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there just so I can show you how to get it off. Now, you take your clippers, and I'm going to show you what's done here before I cut it. You see how it's made a coil on this wire here, on the winder. You take your clipper, clip it off here. And then, see, normally I would go down this entire length here with this winder. You remove your winder by pulling it off. Remove this bar by taking off the cotter pin right here, taking off the washer, making sure not to lose it. Just pull it out like that, okay? Now you'll have this here. Now this is why I said to make the first loop very high above the rod and not pull it pressure on it, because it's a lot easier to cut it off. Okay, now have to cut right there. Get this off right there. Okay, so you'll have this little piece of metal that you've just cut loose, and you have to kind of pull this out, this end tab off, to pull that out. Now, to get this off, the brass comes off pretty easily, but when you're working with steel wire, a galvanized steel, it's a little trickier to get off. But you would hold it here and then reverse wind this This one here just slides off because the brass comes off really easily. So you'll have a coil that's like this, okay? Now, how to cut the coil, again, bear with me here. You have to pull it apart so you'll have a longer spring, and you don't want to pull it all the way. You just want to push it just a little bit apart, okay? So you'll have this thing that looks like a loose spring. It'll look like this, okay, like a loose spring. Now, to cut it, the first link is always going to probably be distorted, so you don't want to use like the very first link. So just cut that off. Cut the first part off with your pliers, with your cutters, I mean. And then you just going at the even surface. And I like to work with my pliers face out like this, so the spring actually goes into the cutter while it's cutting. Okay, so you just go down the line and just cut each link like this. Okay, and that will form your chainmaile rings, and that's how you use it. That's basically it. And you just want to cut through the whole line. And again, you can use, I would recommend gloves if you want to, on your hand when you're cutting with your cutters, or you don't have to. It's up to you, but it does help prevent calluses. So that's it. Enjoy.